Alright guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. Now today I wanted to step in on this whole dehydrating thing. There seems to be a thing where people think dehydrating is hard. They don't want to go through all the steps like we do. So progressively I've been trying to make it easier and easier. And today I just said forget it. We're going to go ahead and dehydrate beef stew right out of the can. Just to show you how easy this is. Don't get overwhelmed. Some people have air fryers and like toaster ovens that have dehydrating modes on them. Some people have ovens that they just put it on parchment paper and dry it out. All this is fine. If you have a full-blown dehydrator, that's even better. So, I want to show you how simple and cost-effective dehydrating can be. Guys, you don't understand. This serving, when they sell it to you in the store in a package, is $9 now. $9. These 3 cans, $3. Dollar Tree. Simple, easy. They even have pop tops, guys. Come on. So, what we need to do though is you can't just really open these and dump them onto your trays because A, all the fluid and gravy and stuff will drip through. Secondly, doing that is going to make a giant mess that you're going to have to make your wife clean up. But that said, let's get our dehydrator over here because we have done sheets in it with parchment paper cut out as tray liners. Nice and simple. Now this is the end of the roll, so we've got the don't want to lay flat kind going on today. Now, when you do this, the best way to do it is to open it and hand it to your wife and make her do it. You can dispose of the lid, which makes you a good husband. And you tell her what a good job she's doing. So now my wife's going to just kind of ladle it out and spread it out as thin as possible. But you guys need to understand that when you're doing this, you could just dump it out. But honestly, usually the fluid all goes because you're putting it all in one spot. If you spread it out with a spoon as you go, ladling it out, it kind of spreads out a little more even. Now we're going to do just about 1 can per level. You could probably squeeze more on if you wanted to. But the nice part about most of these beef stews you buy from the store is they don't really use an actual like roast style beef. They use more of like almost a ground or a processed beef, which makes it break up really well and dehydrate really well and not turn into gravel. Now, the calorie count alone is pretty heavy duty on this. This is going to be a filling meal, and I would suggest using a full can or a full tray to rehydrate back on the trail for your dinner. But you're going to have $1 in the equivalent of an $8 or $9 from something like, say, Mountain House or Packet Gourmet. Now, as you see, my wife finished this one. So let me use my thumb to try and hold it. That's what it looks like. And then you tell her, good job, honey, do another. You see how easy this is, guys? Dehydrating's easy. You just have your wife do it all for you. But that said, she did an excellent job of spreading that out.
I think this is your job.
To hold it down?
Yeah.
I'm holding her down, guys. And Apollo's trying to get out of here. Go on. Go on. This isn't for you. Go on. He's in the kitchen.
I see.
So, this is one of Apollo's favorite foods, in case you guys didn't know.
Here, I'll put some over here so that you...
You went back to your side of the chair. Good boy. Now go lay down. Go on. So, he wants some, and you guys know that every time I bring him in here to do a dehydrating video or any other video, he cries and wants something to eat. So, we have to keep them on the other side. But once again, see how easy this is, guys? You just get your wife. If you've got a kid, that works really well, too. No, but we try and have fun with it. And honestly, one of the main reasons we do this is this ends up having a lot more flavor for us on the trail than the freeze-dried meals do. Because a lot of the meals you buy from the store are actually freeze-dried, and they seem to have a little less flavor after that.
Well, and the big thing is you don't really have to spend hours cooking before you get ready to dehydrate, right? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen that we've done them from scratch on different videos. In other videos, we do them, you know, out of canned chicken and stuff like that. Now, just to up its game a little bit of salt. After you get it spread on the tray, a little bit of pepper, salt, everything. That will just let it have some more seasoning on the back end when you rehydrate it. Okay, she's on her last tray. Now as you can see, this is super simple. Just make your wife or kids do it, guys.
Yeah, it's funny how you say,
yeah, I mean,
I'm dehydrating beef stew, honey.
I am dehydrating beef stew. I will turn it on and turn it off, I promise. But we do try and have fun with this, and we are going to try and bring you guys some more of these really easy videos, because we don't want people to feel overwhelmed when you try and dehydrate. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you're going to get to where you take these out and you're going to get to be where you're so good at it, you don't need to know how much water goes in it, because you're just going to kind of know as you put it in the baggie and fill it up with water. The more you do this, the better you're going to get at it all around. It's not that hard. Will you have some batches that turn out less than stellar? Yes. But every single time you will just magically get better.
You'll have some things that you'll be like, I should have put a little bit more spice in that, or I should have did this, should have did that. Learn as you go and trial and error.
We have never got on the trail though and went, man,
I can't eat
I put
this.
too much spice in it, I can't eat it. That's never happened. Or it's dehydrated too much, I can't eat it. It doesn't happen. You just let it soak longer or soak less. So a little more salt on this tray.
These potatoes are going to be nice in this.
That's the thing about buying the canned stuff. It's already at time to like soften up in the can as it's sat. So right there, and these do have preservatives in it in the can, so that automatically is going to make this a little more shelf stable for days out on the trail. Now, the one thing you've got when you've got something like soups or anything with gravy or anything like that, you really need to be rotating your trays throughout. You really do, because the top's going to dry out super fast and the bottom's not. So about every 4 hours, I'm going to roll these trays over, restacking them. And once you do that, like 4 hours, I figure this whole thing is going to take about 10 hours in this dehydrator, because of the gravy. It slows the process down some. But when we get it all done, we'll bring you back. I'll make my wife bag it up, and I'll make her reheat some for us, and we will get to taste it, and we will show you how it rehydrates and how good it is. Sound good, honey?
Well, I'm glad that I could be your Vanna White in your dehydrating video.
Nobody's winning any money.
Apparently, you're winning.
Turn some more letters. We'll be back in the morning to try this out. Alright, good morning, guys. We're back. We are 12 hours later, guys. I never would have thought that would have taken 12 hours. But it still sweat some of the oils and grease out, so it kind of feels like it's not done when you touch it. But let it cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes. It'll harden up, and you'll know exactly when it's done. When you open it up, peel it off, and it snaps. So just to show you how dry and translucent that gravy gets, it turns almost like a wafer, like one of those things you drop in water and it dissolves, because that's essentially what you're doing. That is actually your finished product there. Like I said, it still has like a greasy feel, but it's really actually very dry once you let it cool down. And it smells absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, it does.
So at this point, you're basically going to peel these off, trying not to take the grease that's left on the parchment paper with it, but just show you how easy it kind of peels off. That's your finished product. Kind of looks like not so appetizing, huh? But you break it up, you're going to put it in baggies, store it in the freezer as per normal. This is not a shelf stable food, guys. You can take it out on the trail for days and not have any issues, especially in the winter. But it's one of those things where you don't store it around your house in the cabinet. You want to keep it in the freezer. That said, as always, while my beautiful wife is packaging these trays up, we have already rehydrated some. I think you guys are going to be really impressed with how this comes out on the back end. Because honestly, that's beef stew.
Oh yeah.
So that is the same thing you're going to get, honestly, in a dehydrated or a freeze-dried meal. Now, when rehydrating this, you don't want your gravy getting too runny, so it's kind of stay more minimal on the water because the carrots and the potatoes will suck up a lot of it. But when you're sitting here looking at it, you literally cannot tell that this has been dehydrated. Just the way it even falls off the spoon.
But how does it taste?
Probably hot.
Oh yeah. That does really well.
I think if you brought out like some cornbread or maybe some biscuits, that'd make it even better, honestly. And you know what makes it even better? When you get to taste test it and you can get your wife to load the bags up.
Why do I feel like I'm doing all the work this video?
But basically, we're going to just throw these all in 1 or 2 bags and bust it up later. But for content wise, 1 can or 1 bag, like 1 meal, is going to be a good full long trail hike day meal, honestly.
Be great in the wintertime.
Anyways, the big thing about this is learn to convince your wife to do it for you. It'll make your life so much easier, I promise. But with that said, honey, I think that it's time for me to eat this, and you can put this all away. And you guys can go make your own, because it's actually super simple, super cost effective. You're basically paying $1 a meal for a big meal. I mean, what are we at here? Look at that full, and she's still halfway through the second tray. That's going to make a lot. That's going to make a whole lot. Now, you just keep putting stuff in their mouth so they can't complain while you tell them, hurry up and get that all in bags. This is an easy one. You guys should definitely try it. So, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, go down, hit the subscribe button. Stop stealing stuff. What are you doing? Hit the notification bell. Make sure you leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you have any other things you'd like to see us come up with a way to dehydrate, we would glad to hear about it down in the comments. Maybe we can jump on that. But honey,
we will see you up the trail.
I think that's mine.
Really?
Finish your work, slave.
I always have to work.